Tonight, we're talking cigars on a Tuesday night with my good friend Rick Rodriguez. He's master blender of CAO Cigars, and they've just recently released the new Bones cigar. Welcome, Rick. How's it going there in Tampa?
Thank you so much. Very good. It's raining right now, so it's cool in the garage. So thank you so much. Beautiful night for you to pick tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's always a good time with you. And the new Bones cigars, I love the theme and what this is inspired by. And I got to show everybody, it's right from the offset. This great box. As you open the Bones up, there's actually a game here where you a whole full set of dice and the cigars, and then here's where you toss the dice into. You've thought through it all. It's the party and the cigars all in one.
Yeah, and the blend is on the box too. So a lot of people ask about the blend. Typically, I don't share the blend information when I'm doing live events. Why? It's because if we mentioned a tobacco that you had a bad experience with, and I mentioned that tobacco is in the cigar, you start to prejudge that cigar. And so, again, we all eaten something in our life. We don't like that version, but when you cook it this way, I loved it. So the same thing about cigars. If we don't share the information, let you open your mind, smoke the cigar, and then tell me, or I'll tell you about the cigar. But I typically don't like to kind of talk about the blend until you smoke that cigar. But we know a lot of people love that information, so that's the reason we put it on the box.
You put it right there on the box. So a lot of times when you're walking someone through a tasting, you let them taste it first before you tell them the blend, and that's partly just because you want to see what their thoughts are without being prejudged. Kind of like with a whiskey, we wouldn't tell you exactly maybe what was in it. We want to say, hey, what do you think of it first, right?
Right, exactly. So because you have this, a lot of people will approach me. I don't like CAO. And so, okay, my first question to you, why are you here at my event? It's CAO. So that's number one question I want to ask you, but I can't. All right, so I tend to say, okay, tell me why you don't like CAO. Oh, I smoked it maybe 20 years ago, 15 years ago, and so I picked up whatever it is, and I didn't like it. So you cannot judge the whole line on that one cigar. That cigar doesn't meet your palate. So there's other cigars. So if you give me information, well, I smoked a Gold. It was too mild. I didn't like it. Have you ever smoked a Flathead? No, because I don't like CAO. Bro, you need to get back in the arena and smoke the cigar, and then we'll talk about what you don't like and what you like.
And I'll tell you, I really like this. This is right from the offset. This has a lot of warm and deep flavors. It's it has a boldness, but it has a nice complexity that kind of has a real like mellow, gentle, but complex feel on this one too. I mean, I think this one would go so well with so many cocktails. And really, I'm just now trying it from the description. I decided tonight we would make a Sazerac. So we made a Sazerac with of course a little bit of the absinthe there, rinse, and we're using a little Whistle Pig rye because I thought it sounds like a really good cocktail cigar.
Right. And we want to show you that we can give you a Maduro without that overpowering sweetness. So what we're doing in the factory is kind of shortening the fermentation process, lowering the temperatures, and then we're going to be able to change the color to that deep brown, light black, but not react like Session did. Session is the same wrapper that we're using for Bones and for Session. But if you smoke the Session and the Bones, there's no way that is the same tobacco. Yes, it's the process that we put the tobacco through allows you to change the flavors, the bodies, the colors, and they think about making cigars.
Yeah, no, it's so interesting how just changing a little something can really change the complexity. And if you have any questions for Rick, please ask them below. Tweet back. Let us know if you've tried this cigar. It just It just dropped a couple weeks ago. What's the response been like so far to the Bones?
I would love to say, yeah, bro, it's great, but it's great. I haven't not heard the feedback since we launched Flathead, like we're doing. Session, great cigar, great launch, great product for us, but the it wasn't like Bones for some reason. I think just Bones, the name itself, draws the people to that line, and
Right.
then they're smoking the cigar. But uh, it has been a huge success for us already, and so we're happy. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be out there conducting live events. I'm doing a lot of Zoom events and all that,
Right.
but the feedback has been very positive so far.
Excellent. And from what when I first read about this, before we even got you on the show, I was thinking, let me read about this cigar. And I'm reading you were inspired by kind of a night of playing pool and just hanging out with friends in a bar, just being chill, maybe kind of a
Right.
dimly lit bar. When you go into creating a cigar, whether it's the Session or the Bones, what are you thinking about when you're thinking, how can I offer something that says what I want it to?
I think it's a process of knowing your fan base and what they want from you. That's the number one goal that we set up for ourselves. We're not trying to make a cigar for everybody, because when you set that in place, we're going to make a cigar for everybody, you have a cigar that's not going to be for everybody, because you can't do that. So we kind of tend to listen to our fans and what do you want from us and what do you enjoy that we're doing today. And so that process comes alive for us. But, as far as, how do we name it? How do we design the cigar? Knowing that what the fans want from us, that's easy. And it's just kind of, the Session and the Bones has been fun to work on those projects, because it's really connecting me with the fans of CAO. And so Session is the start of that. And then Bones is just typically what I do at home. When I'm at home with my friends, what do we do? Do we just watch games on the TV? Do
Right.
we listen to music? Do we just sit around and talk? No, we play a lot of dominoes, but we call it Bones. And so it just took up from there. But the creative kind of process is something I love to do. Yeah.
No, and I bet it would be a fun process to actually go through and think about. This is reflective of me playing a night, some Bones with some friends, and in fact, the Bones refer to the dice. That's what you guys often call them there in Florida and a lot of places. And it comes with these dice. I noticed that online, on your website, I can actually play a virtual game with Rick Rodriguez right there.
Yeah, yeah. And he's better than me, because that virtual Ricky beats me all the time. I think he cheats. I really do. I really do. But it's fun. And, again, if we had live events, I guarantee we did a Bones table, a domino table. I guarantee you we would be playing dominoes every event that we can. And so it kind of, divides the time. It's only so much you can talk about making cigars and telling your story. About 15 minutes later, everybody tunes out. And so if you have something to do, interact with your consumers or your fans of your cigar, that helps for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And I got to show you. I was trying to think. So I got this Sazerac that my wife made it in the bar there, and I was thinking, what's another really good pairing for this particular cigar? And I found a perfect one, Rick. I just tried this a few weeks ago. It's called Tumbling Diced Bourbon.
Really? Okay. Excellent. Excellent.
I thought it would carry the theme, and it actually is a really, really good bourbon. It's a single barrel bourbon picked out of Indiana, and it's about 6 years old. The proof on this one is about 115 proof, and this has some really nice power and boldness, some great sweetness. But I thought we got the dice theme going. We're having some tumbling dice along with our Bones, and a lot of great people joining us. Catherine, thanks for watching from Orlando, and as always, our friend Chris Gomez, big cigar fan there in Hawaii. Aloha to Chris tonight. The flavors I'm getting on this, there's some nice. This really starts off earthy, but there's this for me. There's this really nice, like elegant kind of creamy note towards the mid palate on this
Right. Mm-hmm.
that opens up and it feels rather aerated. It almost kind of goes into this kind of like sherry wine sort of thing. I mean, I'm thinking elegant old world wine flavors, and then it finishes really nicely on the flavor of this cigar. So far, what flavors do you get on this?
The draw in, I get some sweetness and earth for that blend, and the sweetness from the Maduro wrapper, but the finish to me is maybe cinnamon. It's really, if you really taste it in your mouth, it's cinnamon to me. It's maybe more the heat source that you get from cinnamon, not the cinnamon flavor. But because you have black pepper, and if I blindfold you and you taste black pepper or white pepper or cinnamon, there's this heat source that, okay, I don't know what it is, but it is hot in my mouth and it's kind of spicy. And okay,
Right.
that's cinnamon. I'm just putting on your palate cinnamon. So at the end of the day, I'm not that guy that's going to taste cigars that, nutmeg with a finish of raisin pepperoni. Bro, if you taste that, and if you're a fan of that, that's good, because everybody's palate, Tom, everybody's palate is so different.
Oh yeah.
So for me to stand up in front of anybody and say, this is what you can expect from this cigar, 9 out of 10 times, they don't receive that flavor. They receive that flavor of what they're tasting. But at the end of the day, do you enjoy it? Because I don't care what I taste and what you taste and what I like and what you like. At the end of the day, it's what you want to enjoy. And if you can pick up notes of, a leather or, earth or coffee or chocolates, bro, thank you. Thank you. But
Yeah.
it's very hard to go into design a cigar with a flavor in mind that you want to give them all these flavors combined together.
Absolutely. No, it's a fun process that it's fun to, and also the anchor points we might get on a whiskey. What can it bring out of that cigar, a rum? Anything that you enjoy pairing this with? Do you like it with a beer? Do you like it with a cocktail yourself?
I'm more of a beer guy, but I don't think you can see, but I have so many liquors and spirits behind me that it's been given to me because it's a fan of that particular spirit, and they want to give me something, and so I take it home and remember what they were smoking and they were pairing, and I tried that, and 8 out of 10 times they're spot on. 2 out of 10 times, like, I don't know what that
What
guy was
happened there?
drinking and what he was smoking, but that is not a match for me. But again, it's about you. It's about your direction, what you're going to receive out of that cigar.
Absolutely. And again, for those of you, I see several people just joining us. You're watching bourbonblog.com/live. Make sure you bookmark that and subscribe to wherever you're watching, Twitter, YouTube, on Facebook. Make sure you're subscribed there and ask any questions you have for Rick about cigars, about the Bones, about the CAO line. You were saying a moment ago, and I was trying to think one of my first memories of CAO Cigars. I know that there used to be an event that I would go to at, which used to be one of the only bourbon festivals, which was called, still happens, but it's not happening this year except for virtually, Kentucky Bourbon Festival. There was a wonderful cigars and jazz and whiskey night that CAO used to have cigars. That was one of the first times it came on my spectrum, and I was always a fan of CAO cigars. You were talking about the old CAO versus the new CAO, how it's evolved. How has it evolved as a brand?
Well, we knew the DNA of CAO. So when we took it over, about now it's going on 11 years ago. I've been the blender for 10 years now.
No.
We didn't want to run away from the history of CAO. We just want to kind of take it to a new direction. So CAO to me represents a line that kind of offered you unique or strange tobaccos in cigars. They were the first to really use Brazilian tobacco for a wrapper because they were known for growing filler tobacco and cigarette tobacco. And they were the first company that really, no, you have something special. We wanted to use it as a wrapper, and we're going to call it Brazil. And so they kind of took off with that kind of lesson, and they did it with the Italia, or the Italia cigar that has Italian tobacco. We did one in America that focused on the wrappers from the Connecticut shade and Connecticut broadleaf. We also did a line called Colombia and Nicaragua to showcase those. But in the DNA of CAO, it was always introducing new tobaccos from around the world in cigars. So we never forgot that. So what we did was just change the direction and really try to focus on cigars that we thought the fans of CAO would enjoy. And the first cigar that we really struck gold with was Flathead, for sure. Flathead took us to a level that we didn't think we were ready for that. We didn't think we had that cigar for that kind of that fan favorite. But when we released it, it has been a home run for us. It's the only cigar for the last 6 years of their life grows every year. And so the window of opportunity for new cigars about 2 to 3 years before they fall of flavors or my favorite cigar was, whatever it was. But now I'm onto this, but Flathead continues to grow. And I hope that Session and Bones continue to grow that way too.
Absolutely. And the Flathead, that is that the most popular one that you all do then?
If you look at the line called CAO, the #1 selling cigar is Flathead. Brasilia is #2. Gold is #3. And then I would say #4 would be a toss-up from America or the Amazon Basin trilogy, the number 4 or 5.
I love that. That's you even bring in tobaccos from Italy, from all around the world. What do you enjoy about how these different tobaccos from these different regions, these different countries? What do you enjoy about what they say about each cigar and how it really reflects that region and that flavor?
It's the flavor. What can we do with that tobacco to offer or showcase that flavor? So when you're talking about fillers and when you're talking about the Italia or the Colombia or the Nicaragua, it's all about the fillers. 95% of the time when a manufacturer makes a cigar, we're going to highlight the wrapper. The wrapper is the most important component of your cigar. That is what we taste. But about 5% of the time, you're going to focus on your blend and you're going to try to highlight that special, unique flavor of that tobacco from that region, that country, that region. And so it's very fun, very exciting to work with new tobaccos, but very scary too, because again, you can offer a cigar and it bombs right away. And so, okay, we thought it was a good cigar, but the fans of CAO just don't want that flavor in their cigar. Yeah.
That's cool. It's cool to see all of the different tobaccos you play with. Now, okay, so now that I've tried this, and hopefully everyone that's watching this, I recommend this one to try. And I'm really enjoying this with the whiskey, with the cocktail. I think it really is a nice pairing for both. The tobaccos you picked for this one. You want to tell us about the ones you picked and kind of how you think it shows this off?
Again, we're trying to just really showcase the wrapper. And
showcase the wrapper. Okay.
Yeah. So when you're looking at a cigar, I've always said to everybody, when you're smoking a cigar, 95% of the time you're smoking the wrapper. You're enjoying the flavor of the wrapper. And your filler is in there to enhance the flavor of your wrapper. And so I've always said, okay, picture your wrapper like your piece of fish your piece of chicken or your piece of steak. You're
Right.
never going to cook it naked without anything added to it. What you try to do is offer you a salt and pepper or garlic to your steak to
Right.
enhance that flavor of your steak. But at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is showcase all the tobaccos, but focus on one tobacco, either from the blend or the wrapper. And 95% of the time, it's a wrapper because the wrapper is what we baby. Fillers I can use from the farm, production-wise, in 6 months. But when you're talking about wrapper, I'm using a wrapper that was harvested 3-5 years ago. And
Right.
we're going to babysit that to bring out the flavor. When you age a cigar, what you're trying to accomplish is not, all you're trying to do is enhance the flavor. The longer you age it, your flavor is going to increase, but your body's going to decrease. So if you take a full body cigar and bury it for 2 years in your humidor and smoke it, and go back to your shop and buy the same cigar and smoke it together, you'll notice the body of the cigar that you purchased today is more than the cigar that you let mail it out for 2 years, because your flavor is going to be there, but the body is going to not be there as much.
Right. Right. So it's really that wrapper. You're looking for the wrapper. The inside is obviously important, but so much of the flavor does come from the wrapper. So that's where you're really thinking about that wrapper and how important a role it plays in that.
Again, your salt and pepper or your garlic to enhance your steak and you're grilling it. The reason you season your steak is to enhance the flavor of that beef. That's your filler. We're only putting that filler that doesn't fight with your wrapper. So I'm never going to cook you. I love sugar and I love beef, but that combination would never work. So you have to think about that when you're choosing a blend. It's going to fight each other, or are you going to mellow each other out? So that's the process of making cigars.
It's gonna complement. It's gonna accentuate those flavors. Do you think that's that point? And I think it's really an important point you're making with wrappers. Do you think that's a point that's often missed with some cigars as they're made, or just as consumers enjoy them, about the wrapper?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of information out there for everybody to kind of view and kind of read, but what we know that a lot of people will judge a cigar if it's a dark cigar. Oh, bro, can't smoke it. Why? Oh, it's going to be too full body. Nah, bro, I can make a dark black, a jet black wrapper, darker than my shirt, and mellow. I mean, mild. And I can make you a cigar that has a light wrapper that will sit you on the ground. And so you can never prejudge a cigar by the look of the wrapper, because there's so much things that we can do for that wrapper to enhance the body, the flavor, the characteristics of the tobacco. And so it's just playing with that tobacco and knowing, smoking it over and over, knowing in my mind. I've always said to everybody, picture me as a chef. Instead of using, seasonings for my cabinet and a steak or chicken that I want to cook, I'm going to go to my factory and use tobacco. So I call myself a chef more than I call myself a cigar blender, because what I'm doing, okay, you want a mild cigar? I reach for that because I know it's going to be mild. I'm not going to reach for, Lajero from Nicaragua and put it for a, light blend. It's not going to work.
Right.
But it's kind of fun. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
just like
I have made cigars that doesn't work. Real. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for all those that are telling us what they're smoking and drinking down below, tweeting back to us. Make sure you like this video, share it on your feeds there, as we're talking with Rick Rodriguez, the master blender of CAO. Also calls himself master chef sometimes, right?
Yeah.
The master.
Yeah.
Master
No,
chef.
I'd rather say that, because a master blender to me is who trained me, the legendary guys that trained me.
Right.
Those are masters. To me, I'm still in college or high school. I'm just learning the process of making cigars. For me to say I'm kind of in the same category of Benji Menendez or Ernesto Chris Carrillo or the Fuentes, these are legendary guys that have been doing this craft for 30, 50 years. And I've been doing it for 15 years. And so I call myself a chef or a blender. I don't really use the word master, because the guys that taught me how to make cigars are my masters. Those are the guys that really taught me the art of blending cigars or blending tobacco to make a cigar.
Absolutely. How did you? I read a little bit about you. You have a little bit of cigars background in the family. Is that right?
Yeah, my
How did you get into this?
grandfather and grandmother was master rollers from Cuba, and they came to Tampa in 1953 because in 1952, Tampa outproduced Cuba making Cuban cigars. So my grandfather was laid off at the factory, and they cannot survive when one person working. So they moved to Tampa to roll cigars. So it's always been on my life, but my dad never smoked a cigar. So it skipped that generation. And being raised in Tampa, everybody smoked cigars. And I started to smoke cigars maybe 20, 25, but smoking like everybody, just looked cool.
Right.
I didn't realize what I'm doing, why I enjoyed it. And so fast forward, I was 40 years old, and I was approached by somebody to sell cigars. And I said yes. I was crazy enough to say yes at that time, and it changed my life. It really changed my life. And I look back at that 20 years ago and I say, wow, wow. Thank God I did take that leap of faith and get into this industry called cigars, and it's been fun forever and ever. So I was a rep for 4 or 5 years for General Cigar, and the owner of General Cigar approached me one day and said, I need some help. A lot of our blenders are going to retire or leave the company. And so we elected to train you to be a blender, and it changed my life. At that meeting. That meeting lasted me about a half an hour, and I didn't realize what they're asking from me. I just accepted the challenge, and the rest is history.
Amazing. And again, it was about 10 years ago you became this master blender there at CAO. How's it grown over the last decade? What have you seen for both CAO and the industry? What have you really enjoyed seeing how it's grown?
It's amazing because during the boom, what the boom did for us is the average age before the boom was about 43 years old, and they started before my time started to worry about that, because if we don't introduce cigar smoker to the younger crowd, we're going to date ourselves out of this business if we don't introduce more cigars to the fan or the younger crowd. So
Right.
I just kind of got into it at the tail end of the peak of the cigar smoker. But what the peak did for us, maybe we had 5 million cigar smokers at the peak of when it's cool in the 90s. Everybody was doing movies. Arnold, Rocky, all these guys were smoking
Right.
cigars and just kicking ass. And so that a lot of people were, we're cigar smokers. But what it did, but everybody went away and said, that's not cool anymore. But it left a group of people to smoke cigars and really lower our age of 43 to 35 years, the average age, and it just boomed for us. So for me, to answer what I've seen the change of a CAO, if you look at the company I work for, General Cigar, we have multiple lines from Cohiba, Macanudo, Partagas, Hoya, Punch, Excalibur. and then CAO. Excuse me. And so what? I just ordered a beer.
Nice. It's good to have that ability. I like
that. So when we took over CAO. CAO was the number 7 best-selling line in General Cigar. Today, wow. I'm proud to say we're number 2, and fast approaching number 1. And number 1 has been Macanudo since the day General Cigar came on board in 1968. So from 1968 to 2020, the number 1 selling cigar for General Cigar is Macanudo. In 2021, I think CAO will be the number 1 selling brand under the umbrella of General Cigar. And that is a compliment to not only the company, but everybody that works behind the scenes. It's an amazing journey.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Congratulations to you and the team there on what you all have done to grow the CAO, and as you look forward to 2021, the steps that you're going to be able to take, hopefully we'll all be able to get back out there again a little bit more. But you're doing a lot of cool things online, like obviously like this video, but you're doing some weekly videos too to showcase. Tell us about that a little bit. I know what you and Sean have done a few of those.
So about 6 months ago, we the 3 of us. There's really 3 faces that works on General Cigar. One is me, Shauna Williams, and Laura Tilley, and she's in control of Macanudo. And so, about March or April, when they shut us down for traveling, the company says, "Okay, we don't know what to do. There's no game plan. There's no book to read what we do. So we're just going to leave it up to you." So I took the route of Zoom to selling events, kind of showcasing our cigars through opportunities for the shops and all that. But Laurel and Sean took the other path. We're going to just go to Facebook Live, Twitter, and Instagram and do that. And so about maybe 3 months ago, somebody connected all 3 of us together and do an event like you're doing. And the feedback was so exciting because all of a sudden it wasn't not about cigars, it was about Sean and Laura and me interacting, telling stories of what we do, how we do it, what we like, what we don't like, and that was took off. And about 3 weeks ago, I started 6 weeks ago, I started this Zoom event through our social page called Cigar World, our website, and I started to do the event. And there's only so much we can talk about. And so I asked Sean and Laurel about 3 weeks ago, would you ever consider doing a weekly show that we can get together every week and talk about what we do? And they agreed to that, and it's been fun because it's kind of behind the scenes, and we don't really focus on cigars. We focus on, okay, what do you like about this job? What do you don't like about the job? What's your favorite cigar? What's your favorite pairing? What do you do? So it's kind of gives our fans some knowledge behind the scenes. It's been very fun.
Yeah, no, I've watched you guys do an amazing job there. It's every, did you just do it?
Tuesday at 7 o'clock East Coast time.
East Coast, yeah. So you just did one, so make sure you watch in about a week or so to see what they do. I think Sean, I think he's joining us next week again after your show to try some more Cohibas. It's really a cool thing you guys are doing, and this cigar, as you look forward to 2021 with continuing to grow the brand, I think more and more people are going to find out about CAO. It's a fun branding. You got got a great stick. You got a fun packaging. I want to make sure everybody sees this once again. This really cool packaging. It's one of the coolest packages that I've ever seen for a cigar with the dice, with the cigars, all right there inside of the Bones. And I like the theme. Light one up and play a while.
Right. You know what? I think somebody asked me that question. What's more fun for you, blending or working on the name and the packaging? And for me to tell you the truth, blending is very fun. To be able to go to the factory and work with my brothers and sisters in the factory, great time. But my creative side really comes alive when I can name the cigar, design the box like Sessions, Bones, Flathead, Oriano, or a concert. All these. So that is my what a left or right side of my brain, and the other side is about the tobacco. But I would be hard pressed to say, okay, you can only do one, either blending or marketing. Which one do you want to do? That is a sophomor's choice. I don't want to. I don't really like this kid, so send him to the gas chamber. This kid, I'll raise. Yeah, so, but because the General Cigar allows me to do everything and anything, it's just a great place in my life right now.
Oh, it sounds like a lot of fun. As we all look at what's been happening with restrictions during COVID, when you're sitting there thinking about the next cigar, I would imagine, has it changed as far as what you're doing? I mean, obviously you can't get in front of the groups like you used to as much, but would you have usually been traveling, looking at the tobacco? Now you're doing it more from afar. How has this changed what you do and how you do it?
Well, I have not been able to visit the factory in 6 months. So that is just brutal for us. Brutal because, again, I love to go to the factory. They love to have me in the factory. So that's been hard. But the good news that's come out lately is the FDA and the ban of, predicate blends versus non-predicate blends. That's off the table. So when we heard that news, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, oh my God, it's let's go back to work because before that, I don't know if you really understood what was in place and what was happening. A predicate blend is a blend that was created before 2007. So we can change something on that blend, too much to get into, but you have to really, they can only change about maybe 10% of what you want to blend. Now we're back to the old days. If I have a new tobacco is offered from Costa Rica or Argentina, I can use it today. So the ropes are off for us. We're free to run again, and so it's been fun. So I look forward to. But the beauty of working with the General Cigar is everything I'm working on this year was done 2 years ago. So before this take effect or these quarantine take effect, I was already working on 2021, 2022, and so it hasn't kind of affected us as what we wanted to launch. But getting back to the field, getting back to the shops, and getting back to the factory, I look forward to that too.
And again, that would relate to a cigar, a specific blend that you had, and how you could change it up. Is that right?
Yes. But the FDA didn't know what to ask us, and so they're focused on the seed. And so with the good news that we took away from the FDA predicate blends, they're saying we're concentrating on the seed. So let me ask you this. If I took a Connecticut seed that we're growing in the U.S. and I can plant it in Nicaragua, oh, yeah, you don't know what you're asking for because that's going to change it so much. It's like taking a grape from France and growing that grape in California.
Right.
Great wine from California, great wine from France, but the plant is the same, the grape is the same, but totally different because the soil, the environment. So we're kind of lucky that they didn't know what to ask for us to do, but we're That is gone, and
Yeah.
we can't use new tobacco.
So this whole decision, when you look at not only CAO but just the cigar industry, what will we be seeing more of, or what? How will this affect it?
Oh, they're so happy. They're so because again, if you're a company that was formed in 2009,
Right.
you're out of business. You had no predicate blends, so they will just wipe you out. You're gone. And so I've never worried about anybody making cigars outside CAO. I trust myself and my team to make us good cigar. I want Rocky Patel, AJ Fernandez, Bat Booth, all to have great cigars because more cigars mean more fans, more opportunities. So I don't want the government to say, Ricky, that little ant has been bothering you. We're going to take him out of the picture. Don't fight my battle for us. We'll fight our battle. So it really helps the industry, especially the smaller guys, to breathe and relax and say, we're still in the game. And I'm so happy and proud that they can be in the game because, again, I am a cigar lover before I was working in the business. I want everybody to think great cigars. I want to taste those cigars. I want to smoke them. And I want to copy them if I can. I would steal that blend. I would steal that blend if I could. Yeah, and we all do. We all do.
Right. Right. A very positive thing for the industry.
Very. Yeah.
And the more I talk with cigar ambassadors, blenders like yourself, this obviously we hope that COVID ends soon, but it seems like there could be some positive things that come out of having more people work from home, people enjoying cigars a little bit more as they're working. Do you see that as well as far as
for sure.
This,
for sure.
What are you seeing?
Yeah, because about a month ago, the marketing group got together and they challenged us. All right, so when we start to travel again, do we just abandon this Zoom, Twitter, Facebook Live? What we're trying to say, no. It's forced us to rethink the way that we can present our cigars ourselves. And so I can see this. I can see me doing more traveling in the future and doing live events, but I'm not going to give up in these Zoom events because the Zoom events to us will, okay, maybe there's a shop in North Carolina and they're doing about, $10,000 of business for CAO. Maybe that's not enough business for me to fly there and do a live event, but you have fans of our line. So why don't we do a Zoom event? So it's going to, I think everybody's going to take a lesson for this situation and say, we're not going to abandon this. We're going to enhance it. We're going to change it somewhat and focus on live events again, but don't ever give up on these events that we're doing right now.
Right.
So we definitely learned something from this situation.
And the accessibility to the technology, the new types of technology like we're on now that allow us to simulcast on Twitter, on Facebook, all these things at once. We definitely appreciate it. And we're doing more and more whiskey tastings that we are showcasing online. Usually I would show up at restaurants, bars, hotels, events, LA or New York. Now we're doing some of these, and I'll put the link down below just to give a little quick plug on what we're doing, bourbonblog.com/@home. Go to that link to actually learn about the tastings that I am hosting, ticketed events. You can come. We're doing our first couple this weekend on September 11th is Friday and Sunday, where I'm going to walk you through a series of whiskeys. We can even send the whiskeys to you through our third-party shots box. So make sure you check out that link, bookmark that, because we'd love to have you come join our ticketed tasting. We're probably even here in a few weeks or a month or so going to do some whiskey and cigar pairings as a part of this series too that you can jump on. So we're here almost every night on Bourbon Blog Live, but for these special tastings, we're really going to dive into them. So be sure you bookmark bourbonblog.com/@home. We're going to continue to do these too, just like you. We're going to go on the road and we're going to do them from home. That session cigar that you're having, the reason why you put is it as a you call it session? It's more sessionable. What's the tell us what the
No, you know what? That's a kind of story.
session.
Well, when about a year ago, we started, maybe 2 years ago, we started to ask this question on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. What do you want to know about Ricky? And the response back was, okay, we sees Ricky traveling the world and
Right.
doing events, but we have never seen him in a picture in his home. So the number one thing, does he smoke in his home? Where does he enjoy cigars? And so that started this thing. And so that's cool. Let's open the doors, kind of peel the curtains back and show. I'm in my man cave. This is my garage. So we have two cars and the other side, and this side is my man cave. And so, okay, man cave. Let's call it man cave. And we couldn't because somebody took that name. Okay, so what are we going to call it now? I said, let me say this. I'm talking to the head of marketing. When I'm working on a new cigar and I come home with 2 or 3 blends I'm working on, and I want some feedback from my fans because my friends, I have about 10 guys that come to the garage and smoke cigars. If I could, every night, these guys will be here every night.
Wow.
And they're brutal. They'll tell me the honest opinion. What is your, what is your target? Full body, medium body, mild. What are you trying to showcase? This is not the cigar. And so when I do that, I said to him, I simply text to the guys, cigar session. They know they're going to come to my house and smoke. And he said, stop. What did you call it? He said, session. Bro, I love that. How about we do this? Beer session. Bro, no, because I'm not beer guy. I've only drank Bud Light. And it's just my thing. I'm sure everybody's right now throwing up. And so, but that is, so I'm not going to try it to beer, but that is what I call it. And they love that. And so, okay, where do you smoke? In my garage. Well, what's called a garage? No, we couldn't do that. So sessions came about. And so session led that to, okay, the fans love that idea. So what more can we share with your fans? Well, I play a lot of dominoes, but we don't call it dominoes. We call it bones. Again, what did you say? Bones. Love that. Let's do that. So that's just a gateway to kind of peel the curtain behind and see what I do and when I'm off for work.
That's awesome. So it really gives people a good insight on what you're up to, and your friends have helped you with these names. I like that. That's really fun. That's really fun.
And the blends too, bro. Sometimes I'm so proud of this blend. They're choking like, what? What is this? It's horrible. Really? But you know what? As a manufacturer, I will say to you, I have made cigars I don't care for. It's not my job to make a cigar for me. And I've always said to everybody, how will you make a cigar that you don't enjoy? Okay, my job is not to make cigars for me. My job is to make cigars for you. I say, bro, if you know any restaurant, really know your restaurant, and you go there every Friday night, you know the owner, the chef. One day, take your menu to the kitchen and show that chef that menu and say, hey, bro, do you like everything on your menu? And look around, bro. I hate fish. You hate fish? 1, 2, 3 fish dishes. Oh, I'm a pro. I am a chef. I can make anything, but I don't eat everything. Every chef has a restaurant. I guarantee he's making something that he doesn't enjoy. That's not his job to just create what he enjoys. He's looking through that kitchen to his dining room. What do they want? What do they want? They want more fish. They want to eat more healthy. So I'm going to do fish. The best fish dish I can, being a professional cook, that I can offer. So I can make a cigar that I don't like. Oh, yeah. It's horrible. It's hard, but I do it. I do it sometimes.
That's
Everybody knows that I'm not a fan of Cameroon. Everybody knows that.
You're not a fan of what?
Cameroon.
Not a fan of Cameroon.
And I have a great Cameroon cigar I'm going to launch in October this year. And it's the best Cameroon on the market. Believe this. Because I went back to my master that taught me, and he loved Cameroon, Benjamin Menendez. And I said, bro, help me, because my job is to create this great Cameroon cigar. And you know I'm not a fan, so I have a great team. We can do a great, and it's changed my mind of Cameroon. This cigar is changing my mind, how I look at Cameroon. Remember what I said earlier. If I tell you the blend and the wrapper and the binder, you're going to prejudge it, and you're going, I don't know, and it's changing my mind on Cameroon.
And that's interesting. It's kind of like when we do whiskey tastings or when we're judging, whiskey spirit competitions, we don't always know what we're tasting. Do you like doing blind tastings, trying to figure out, not even figure out, just say, hey, this is what I like, without knowing what it is? Do you enjoy those kind of blind tastings?
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. Because it'll surprise me sometimes. If you gave me that Cameroon cigar without me working on that, and say, smoke this cigar, and I knew right away it's Cameroon, but I've never experienced this flavor on Cameroon, and so it was hard for me to work on that. But again, open mind. I am changing my mind, because I don't want to lie. So I know it's going to be hard for me to introduce a cigar to the market, and all my fans know that I'm not a Cameroon fan. So now I have to do an event. Hey, guys, smoke my new Cameroon. Well, you don't like it, bro. Remember, I'm not making cigars for me. I'm making cigars for you. Please, you're a Cameroon fan, try it. And if you judge it, and I guarantee they're going to say, bro, that's really a great Cameroon cigar.
And this one is this is a new one that's coming out?
Yes. I don't know if you know the history of CAO. They had a presentation maybe 10, 12 years ago called Vision. And Vision was the first box that was introduced to the market that lit up. It was made in China, and it was beautiful. I mean, beautiful. The blend, I threw that blend away. That blend was awful, because I realized when they made that cigar, it was all about the box and presentation. But there was a lot of problems with the box, because it was the first time the box manufacturer were using LED lights, and then half of the boxes didn't work. And so now, fast forward 10 years later to 2019, when we went back to them and said, bro, you need to see what we can do with LED lights today. And that box, but I didn't like the blend. So again, it's fun to make a cool box like Bones, but at the end of the day, we're not smoking boxes. We're smoking cigars. And so you have to pair that beautiful box with a beautiful cigar. So that's the reason I choose Cameroon, because Cameroon, regardless of why I like it a lot, what I think of Cameroon is elegance, classy, old school. And I just look at that box. If we're going to do new school box, why don't we become a old school flavor? And that is the reason I choose that beautiful box. When you see it, you wave your hand over it, and it lights up. And all of a sudden, it's a humidor. And these guys are going to be crazy to sell this. But everybody's going to, I want the box. In line, everybody wants it. You can buy a box. It's going to be about, I think, each cigar is about maybe $15 to $18. I don't know the price point yet. But it's a high-end cigar to match a high-end box.
Really beautiful.
That's going to be. And then next year, I have maybe 5 cigars I'm introducing in 2021. 3 of them are going to be short blends or, you know, short releases, one and dones, and 2 is going to be full-time blends.
So a couple that are going to be permanent, and then a couple of limited editions.
Yeah, exactly.
Any hints you can give us on what's coming on those?
Yeah, for sure. One is going to be Zocalo. Zocalo is going to come out. We made a cigar 2 years ago now. 2 years ago, I think in 2018, we introduced one size called Zocalo. It's a 6x60 to see if these fans of CAO would like a wrapper from Mexico, and it was on fire, and we kind of did away with it. And then we're going to reintroduce it next year in maybe April and May, called Zocalo. So that's going to be one of the lines that we're going to start the New Year with.
Very nice, and that'll be next year. And then the other one, what's it called in October?
The session. No, that's October. It's going to be. Oh God. Oh my God! I just had a brain fog.
I was just trying to follow.
Yeah, it was.
So many good new things.
October. Yeah. Oh my God! I'm so old. I forgot.
It's all right.
Too many beers.
We'll try. We'll try them with you when you have them. But for now, be watching for the CAO Bones. Now in cigar shops, you can order them online. So it's such a cool box and a really great stick, and it's going so nicely with both the. Again, I did it with the tumbling dice bourbon because of the dice theme, and the bones, throw in the bones, and I'll try it with the Sazerac. Amazing pairing with the Sazerac. This is really a great stick, and good luck with this. I hope it continues to go really well.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much, bro.
Really fun time chatting with you. So much to look forward to from Master Blender Rick Rodriguez. And again, it's the Tuesday night. You can watch. It's on Facebook, right? You can watch.
All you do is it's on Facebook and I think YouTube. But if you want to be a part of it, just go to cigarworld.com and you can say, I want to be a part of it, and show you the link and all that, and you can be a part of it and really interact with Sean, Laura, and me.
Cigar World, ask them questions. Just like
Vision. I'm sorry, Vision. That's the new cigar that I want to launch. Yeah, Vision.
Vision's the new one. Vision's the new one in October. Cigarworld.com is the website to go to, and definitely come back, and we'd love to have you back and try some other sticks with you. Such a pleasure chatting with you. How are things in Tampa then on the whole?
Very good, very good. So we're excited about both all our teams. Lightning are playing great hockey right now. Baseball, the Rays are doing great, and we're already booking our tickets to the Super Bowl for the Bucks. We know we're going to be on the Super Bowl with Tom Brady, the old man.
So already looking forward towards Super Bowl. It's good to have things to look forward to. And definitely,
Tom, I would love to do an event with you live one day. Because I'm really interested into pick your brains one time, sharing your knowledge about bourbons and whiskeys and spirits, because that's something I get asked all the time about, and I don't have the right answers for this question. Maybe you can help me along the way and pair some cigars with it and say, Ricky, I'm smoking this XYZ for you. Pair with this. I think it would be great.
I'd love it. Let's do it. We should definitely do some pairings, whether it's in person or online. I'd love to do that. I love trying new things together. I think that helps accentuate the flavors, the enjoyment on both, and that's something we really enjoy, finding cigars that pair great with great bourbons and rums and whiskeys, and I think that your cigars are very complimentary towards those.
So what I'm going to do, we can do maybe in 2 or 3 or 4 weeks from now, I can send you 3 cigars, and you can say, okay, these are spirits I know you can get local. It's not hard to get. So I give you some time to smoke a couple of cigars and pair it and say, Ricky, go out and buy these 3 bourbons or whiskeys and all that, and we'll do an event and really help me understand what you know, because I know cigars, but I'm not a fan or knowledgeable about bourbons and all that. But I would love
I
that.
would love that, man. Thank you, Rick. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah, now it'll almost be like Chopped for cigars and whiskey, like the TV show.
Yeah, maybe we can do the three of us. I can send you a cigar. Sean will send you a cigar, and Laurel will send you a cigar, and
I
the
love
three
it.
of us, and say, okay, Laurel, I pair your cigar with this, and she can pick it up and drink it and chase it and all that. So maybe we'll do that.
That would be fun. See the great ideas that come out of a few drinks and a cigar. I mean, we always come up with good ideas. I love it. Except unlike Chopped, I'll get more than 30 minutes. I'll get a little bit more time on the clock. Those guys are racing around in the kitchen. I'll have a little more time in the kitchen. But we could do one that's a Chopped version at some point. That's 30 minutes. But man, that's a great idea. I'll do that with you, Rick. That'd be amazing. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us, and check out CAO Cigars on. I know you put up some. You're on Instagram. You're CAO_cigars on Instagram yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're posting some great photos, so check out Ricky there, and check out the new Bones. And thanks, Rick. It's such a great pleasure seeing you and trying the new cigar with you.
I hope this is not the last time we speak together.
You'll see me again soon, my friend. Cheers. I hope all continues to go well there in Atlanta and CAO. And thanks to all the great viewers joining us tonight. Thank you all so much, and check us out every night on BourbonBlog Live. Cheers, Rick.
Thank you.